deputy to the hospital that night, but declined to stay at the hospital for further treatment. When the family called another mental health check the next day, a police officer was dispatched. According to Merritt, the family wanted a mental health deputy again, rather than a police officer. Asked why a police officer was deployed on Sunday, Kimball said the call taker raised concerns about why they heard on what they heard on the call from the family. Quote, "It was a call for a psychiatric person," end quote, Kimball said. Quote, "But as the call taker was listening to the caller, if certain things are said or certain things are heard, then it prompts a different response. It prompted a police response, and it prompted a response for fire and medics who were standing by," end quote. CNN has reached out to Killing Police Employee Association for comment, but has not yet heard back. So, let's just unpack this. Where do we start? I feel, personally, that if somebody was doing a mental health check on me, sending a police officer would not help me, and the fact that that is the only resource that we have available till this day is not good. Like, that is so intimidating, and especially...
Well, he said that somebody was... that they requested, like, somebody to do a mental health check, not, like, a police officer to do one.
Exactly.
And then they were like, oh, well, apparently, you know, it met some kind of... certain things were said, and now we just changed our mind. We're not going to listen to you guys, and we're just going to send an officer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just
and
like...
they both completed more than the minimum training, so, like, we just need to improve our training. Obviously, the training is not working.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and obviously, like, that's not enough. Like, what the police officer is, like, not doing... It's not doing enough. And when we say defund the police, we mean it exactly for things like this, because there should be people in place to help with mental health checks and not police officers. Police officers should be helping with fighting crime, distributing tickets, so on and so forth. But I don't think that police officers should be going out to do mental health checks, especially to a Black person's home. Like, we kind of know what's expected when that happens. And it is unfortunate to say that we know what's expected, but it's just like we've seen time and time again that police don't respect the Black community. So what makes us think that they're going to respect them, especially needing mental help? And also with that information, knowing that it's for a mental health check, doesn't that say that this person is going to be in distress? Like...
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously. But, I mean, like I said, there obviously there was no sufficient training. Even, they said they completed the required minimum, more than the required minimum, and it's still happening. So obviously it's not enough. Our minimum is not even the bare minimum to, like, not get people shot.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's frustrating. It's not surprising. I don't necessarily think that we have the widespread police reform that I think is the goal. So yeah, things like this are gonna unfortunately keep happening, because we haven't, you know, gutted this situation yet. We haven't really, we haven't changed it enough to make that big of a difference.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I mean, obviously the Black Lives Matter and everything, like all of, I know there has been positive change, but I mean, obviously the fight's not over, and there's still so many things that need to get done.
Exactly. And I think that memoirs and statues are beautiful, but I just don't think that that's going to solve the problem to what we actually need to address. You know, it's like, I feel like we're asking for not a statue and not a memoir. Like, because, I mean, first of all, they end up getting vandalized by...
You wouldn't have to... You wouldn't even need it.
Exactly.
If you just kept the person alive. It's simple as that, you know?
Exactly.
Why go out of our way to, like, do, like, all that stuff if we could just, like, not kill the people? Am I right? Like, that's that.
Gee, can you imagine us just, like, not killing people? Like, it's murder. It is murder. Like, it's... How is this justifiable murder? It doesn't make sense. Also, something I want to talk about, and I'm not going to jump too deep into this because this is not what I'm covering today, but I was on Twitter and I saw that, like, one of the state's police departments fully has, like, a decked out Tesla so they can go, like, incognito. And I'm like, this is exactly not what we need right now.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of other things that we need. The police department doesn't need a fucking Tesla. Are you kidding me?
That's not even the worst of it, Zach. I've seen other police departments.
No.
No, legit, they have like crazy vehicles. I'm like, what do you need that for? What do you need that for?
You don't need that. You don't need that.
What do you need that for?
You have a siren and a back seat that's very uncomfortable with a cage around it. That is enough for you, sir.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
But
honestly, if you have a few moments to just like look up the police spending, it's crazy. It's so wrong. Maybe we should do that one day for a show. Like, pick a police department and just like dissect the fuck out of their spending and see where our tax money goes. Because just from what I've heard is
Los Angeles Police Department. Guess where we're coming. But as much as I would love for us to jump down this rabbit hole, we can't, unfortunately, per usual. But I do want to go ahead and tell you one last little irk that I had. And let me just say, this one, I saw the initial interview before I saw the story. And Dylan, this interview is beyond belief. Like, the most millennial, I don't even think she's a millennial. I think she might be like Gen Z or something. I think she's like Gen Z. But the most Gen Z thing I have ever fucking seen, and if you all get the chance to watch it, please look it up. It's beyond ridiculous. But the woman who attacked a black teen and accused him of stealing her phone says she didn't mean to, quote, hurt his feelings. Dylan.
Oh.
Dylan.
No. Is it the one with the... Wait, shut up. That's the one with the lady at the hotel just accused this random 14-year-old boy of stealing her phone. And then they, like, and she made them search him. Oh, no.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
That, I'm pretty sure the parents, they're... excuse me. They're filing, like...
Oh, gosh. I fucking hope so.
Yeah, rightfully. No, rightfully so. They are. I saw they were doing like an interview of the parents, and I saw that. And
it's much needed.
Yeah.
Also,
no, for real. She's like, what the hell? You can't just do that. And she had no proof. And you're traumatizing a child. That's like a very important stage of development. Like 14 years old.
Yep. That is literally trauma.
Something like that.
No.
Yeah, can you imagine going through something
like that?
Like, that sucks. You just minding your own business.
Exactly. You know, with your phone.
Yeah, and then just having somebody be like, oh, no. And they, honestly, I think they're like, the dad's like a musician or something. And they're not a family who's, struggling. They all have their phone, I'm sure. Yeah. They all have phones.
Yeah, everybody has a fucking phone.
Not that it matters. Not that it matters if, like, they were somebody who is, like, like, let's say, financially struggling. You can't just accuse them of shit like that.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that we can jump too deep into it because I haven't told the story yet, even though you and I know what's happening. But we will definitely get to it.
My bad. I'm sorry.
No worries. Oh, trust me. I want to dissect it as much as you. We're ahead of the story. I get it. It's frustrating and infuriating. Okay. A 22-year-old woman who falsely and violently accused a black teen of stealing her phone said she considers herself, quote, super sweet, and did not mean to make him feel like she was, quote, hurting his feelings, despite attacking and harassing the teen in a hotel lobby. Quote, I don't feel that is who I am as a person, Mia Ponsetto told Gayle King in an interview with CBS this morning before her arrest on Thursday. Quote, I don't feel like this one mistake does define me, but I do sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, apologize if I made the son feel as if I assaulted him, or if I hurt his feelings or his father's feelings, end quote. Ponsetto was caught on tape furiously yelling at a 14-year-old Kenyon Harold Jr. and his dad, Grammy-winning jazz musician Kenyon Harold, in the lobby of Arlo Soho Hotel in New York City last month. She accused Kenyon, who had just come out of the elevator with his dad, of stealing her phone. Security footage also shows her attacking Kenyon, lunging at him from the back as he tries to move away. Harold and his son had just come down the elevator that day when Ponsetto, who was in the lobby, suddenly accused a 14-year-old of stealing her phone. In a video recorded by Harold, Ponsetto is seen demanding to see Kenyon's phone and claiming it as hers. As Harold tells both Ponsetto and a hotel employee that his son does not need to show anyone his phone. Quote, "You don't have to explain nothing to her," Harold tells Kenyon. "My son has nothing to do with her." End quote. Ponsetto grows increasingly irate and chases after them, and as the security video shows, attacks Kenyon's. Quote, "She scratched me. She tackled and grabbed him. He is a child," Harold wrote in his Instagram post, adding that Ponsetto had checked out 3 days prior and pointing out that the hotel employee empowered the woman to behave that way. Quote, "Now think about the trauma that my son now has to carry, only coming downstairs to have Box Day brunch with his dad." End quote. Harold's video went viral, and although Ponsetto's lawyer, claimed her behavior wasn't racially motivated, the video sparked massive outrage against what many had said was a clear case of racial profiling. Kenyon's mom, Caddy Rodriguez, who is also a prominent musician, said in an Instagram post Friday that she is happy that Ponsetto has been arrested, but they want her charged and convicted. She also called out Arlo Hotels for staying silent about the incidents, writing, quote, "Know that you are as equally responsible for what happened to our son." End quote. First of all, if you see the interview, she says, like, after that whole, like, I didn't mean to hurt his feelings thing, she says, "Well, I understand what that feels like because I am a woman of color." Girl.
What?
She fully said.
Wait, I didn't see that.
Yeah, she fully said she is a woman of color. And I said, Ponsetto. Ponsetto, honey. Also.
Is the color mayonnaise.
Her lawyer is defending her by saying, well, you know, obviously a lawyer is doing her job, but she said, well, you know, Mia has everything on her iPhone, her social accounts, her plane tickets, her monies, her Wi-Fi, her this, her that. I'm like, so if you feel as if that is your phone, if you actually feel that, then maybe walk over and be like, hi, like, I'm just curious, like, did you happen to find that phone somewhere? Like, you know, I feel like there's a way to go about something, but I still feel that she shouldn't have just walked up to this 14-year-old child and accused and attacked and scratched, and everything that she did was just so uncalled for.
I saw those videos. Yeah, I saw those videos of her doing that. Like, she was out here being a crazy woman. Like,
she was being a crazy woman.
Like an entitled, like, thinking, like, you're gonna give me, like, your stuff, and I'm gonna check it and make sure. Yeah, no, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
The hell
and not only that, but
like, and I'm pretty sure that they ended up finding
it.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even her phone. So she made this big old scene, this big old deal, and for what? Literally for what? So
and for what? To traumatize a child.
To traumatize a child. So I definitely recommend that y'all go look up the Gayle King interview with Mia Ponsetto, because it is beyond ridiculous. It is probably one of the most ridiculous interviews I've ever seen. Also, they weren't able to finish the interview because Mia went off script from what her and her lawyer had talked about, and her and her lawyer also got into a predicament that they did not air. So the interview was cut short, but I definitely recommend that everybody checks it out because it is ridiculous.
Ew.
Ridiculous.
I'm good. I think I'm not gonna check
Please
it
don't.
Out, because honestly, her face annoys me.
Her face is so annoying. It looks like, oh god.
Right? I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. Like, blaming the child.
Literally, victim blaming. What the fuck is that?
Irritates me. I just hate that. Whenever somebody, I don't know, that is the most ungenuine, like, possible apology. It's like, I'm sorry that you're at fault for feeling the things that you're feeling.
Not only that, but she's, like, saying, like, justifying by saying, well, I'm also a woman of color, so I get it. And I'm like, girl, I don't experience.
I cannot believe she said that.
You do not experience what black people do. You don't. Honey, like, you just don't. So it's like, you can't even justify that. Like, that is not okay. So, anyways, I feel like I have raised my voice enough about this woman. I apologize for your headphones or whatever device you're listening on. But I think that Dylan has some little palate cleansers for us. So why don't you take over, Dylan, and then we'll get to